In 1955, the Gator Bowl became the first bowl game to be televised nationally. Recently, I traveled with CPA's all-female news and sports broadcasting team, who was invited to travel to Jacksonville, Florida, to produce a feature story at the Taxslayer Gator Bowl at Everbank Stadium. We came face-to-face with the head coaches and players of the two competing teams, the Clemson Tigers and the Kentucky Wildcats. Moments before kickoff, I had the opportunity to briefly connect with CPA alumni Kristin Neff, whose husband now serves as the athletic director from the Clemson Tigers. After the game, I also sat down with CPA alumni Sarah Catherine O'Connell to learn more about her experience as Clemson's #1 fan. Now, we are excited to share everything we learned from this unforgettable experience with our community. Thank you so much for talking to me today. Will you tell me about the team since your husband is the athletic director at Clemson?
So we have had a little bit of a growing year this year, but we're so glad that we're bowling, which is, not all the teams get to go. So we're so happy to be here. The team is young. We've got a new quarterback. We've got a bunch of young guys and some guys that have left to go in the portal, but I think that this is going to be a great opportunity for them to get some more reps in, and let's see, hopefully we can come out with a victory.
So I know you're a CPA alumni, so what's one of your favorite memories from CPA?
It's hard to pick out just one, but I think that I have to give it to my time on the girls basketball team. We made it to state, the very first time that the school had ever been to state in girls basketball history. I have great memories from high school.
Thank you so much.
Sure thing.
Will you tell me a little bit about your experience at the Gator Bowl?
So it was a super last-minute trip. Everyone was saying they're it's going to be 50-50 Kentucky fans and Clemson fans. The atmosphere was great. Everyone was amped. I think there were 7 turnovers throughout the entire game, so it was just back and forth, back and forth. There was this moment where we recovered a fumble, and then we immediately threw a pick. So the environment in our section was woo! And then everyone's ah. But then we get down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got to drive to win the game. We've got to score a touchdown. I wasn't super hopeful, but had to be a good fan. I was we got this. 3rd and 18, we miraculously converted, and that ultimately led to the touchdown, the final win. Dabo was fired up, and it's just been cool to see him be so positive and really build this team up, and then you see that trickle down to the players. You see our 2 running backs, Will Shipley and Phil Naffa. They're roommates, and they are literally best friends. Will Shipley got hurt at the Gator Bowl. It ended up being an opportunity for Phil Naffa to shine. I think he had 4 rushing touchdowns. He had that final rushing touchdown for us to win the game, and you just see them hug at the end, that moment on the field, and everyone's lifting up the trophy. They're there together, and he actually ended up being the MVP or player of the game. You see him lifting up that trophy, and Will Shipley's right there cheering him on, and that's been the story for them this entire season.
If you had to give any advice to high school students from college point of view, what would it be?
Assignment here in my senior year Bible class, where we had to research a church in our college town and see what aligned with what we believe. And I go to this church called Life Point. I absolutely love it. There's actually a handful of the football players that go there, which is fun to see them there on Sunday mornings after the game on Saturday. Yeah, CPA definitely sets you up to have a high bar of what you want community to look like. My biggest piece of advice, freshman year, the best thing you can do is literally meet as many people as possible as fast as you can. Something's gonna click, and you're gonna end up having a wider circle of people than you ever thought possible.
Well, thank you so much for answering these questions for me.
Yeah, of course.